rash. So I get a lot of people come in and they say, oh, I got this rash and I think it's coming from my Hashimoto's, and it flares up when my Hashimoto's, it flares up. And so it's kind of a relationship versus Hashimoto's actually causing it. As so many of these things that I talk about, I have this. So, and most of the time the skin rash is not going to be from Hashimoto's. If you look at the symptoms of Hashimoto's, they don't include skin rash. They include can't lose weight, hair loss, hair loss of my hair, my genitals, wherever, hair loss of my eyes. It's not skin rashes, skin dryness, usually on the shins, constipation, swelling around the ankles, but no skin rash. But we've talked numerous times in our videos. We have a ton of videos on Hashimoto's on powerhealthtalk.com, and we talked in there and about how autoimmune attacks do not occur in isolation. So in other words, usually you're going to have more than one autoimmune attack on you. So if you have Hashimoto's, there's a good chance you're either going to have an immune attack on your stomach, autoimmune gastritis, maybe you're going to develop celiac, maybe you're going to develop autoimmune hepatitis, maybe you're going to develop rheumatoid arthritis. It just, as you keep, until you get your immune system under control, and as you keep developing exacerbations of your immune response that keeps attacking your thyroid, your immune system is eventually going to look around and attack other tissues that are vulnerable. And so the two most common things I see that cause the rash, now it depends on where the rash is, okay? The most common thing I see is eczema, and that's the one that I have. And it comes around here, okay, if I let it go. And it comes around here, but eczema can come in a number of different places. It doesn't have to come around your neck. And the other one that we see is more on the face is lupus. So, and not so much psoriatic arthritis. Most people don't come in and psoriasis. They realize that's more than a rash. So those are the two that we see the most. We'll see. So what happens is you have, and a lot of people say eczema is not autoimmune, but the research and the data is moving more and more and more and more towards the fact that it is autoimmune. And I think it's autoimmune. And so there. so that's what's important for those of you who are listening to me. And I don't be cavalier about that. I mean, I've seen literally 1,000, Hashimoto's cases. So you have a chance to kind of observe these things. So basically what happens is, you let's say you're Hashimoto's and you're living on planet Mars and you haven't yet figured out that you shouldn't be eating gluten. And so you eat gluten, your Hashimoto's flares up, and you start getting some of the symptoms of Hashimoto's and maybe get heart palpitations or jittery or something like that. And at the same time, your rash breaks out. You probably should start running antibodies to see if you have, I don't think there's actually an antibody test for eczema because they're still deciding on whether that's autoimmunity or not. But you could run tests for lupus. Lupus will give you the mask rash, which is called lupus because it's about like a wolf who has those circles around them, but eczema is probably the number one reason that people who have Hashimoto's complain of rashes. And like I say, as long as I'm taking care of myself, I'm fine. As long as I follow my diet, I'm not eating any crappy food, I'm doing all the fine stuff. I know, for me, it's interesting in this case, I know that I have messed up with my diet or something from the eczema, not from the Hashimoto's. And it'll just, for some reason, it's like my number one most sensitive indicator. I go, oh, okay, what did I do? What did I eat? What did I miss? What did I do? And it's so kind of an indicator for me to kind of get my head back together about keeping my immune response under control. So in my world, unless there's something else out there that I'm not aware of, in my world, that's how goes. Most rashes don't come from that. Most rashes come from, obviously, they either come from you getting a, poison ivy or some aggressive antigen, something that attacks you from the outside, or they come from poor liver clearance. I guess you could make an argument that Hashimoto's slows down the liver, and then you could have poor detoxification between your liver and your gallbladder and intestines and get a rash that way. The mechanism is there for that to happen too, but mostly I see it being a combination of Hashimoto's and eczema. Anyway, that's kind of everything I know about rashes and Hashimoto's.